Welcome to our electrical research channel. Today Simulink model is MPPT of PV system with P&O algorithm. See, in this video I will explain how to design the P&O algorithm for MPPT of PV system. Uh, Based on the application we have to design the logic of P&O algorithm. See, the same P&O algorithm can't be work for all the applications. I will explain how many P&O algorithm, how many techniques are there for to design the P&O algorithm and which technique is used to in which application, and these things I will explain in my further video also. In this video I will explain only with the R load. Simple R load I considered, and I considered the boost converter and the P&O algorithm I implemented for the PV system. See, why we have to design the MPPT algorithm or MPPT converter. See, basically the PV characteristics, power versus voltage. Power versus voltage characteristics are non-linear, and it is looking like this. So you can get the power nearly 3, this is the kilowatt, 3 kilowatt at nearly 110 volts or 120 volts. Or if you are at 1000 reference, if you are operating at 300 voltage of your PV, then you may get like 6.5 or 7 kilowatt of PV, but it can be able to generate 14.19 kilowatt, but you are getting only 7 kilowatt or 6.5 kilowatt if you are operating at 300. So it is actually based on voltage. Based on voltage, the operating point will be the different. See, with this is the 1000 irradiance, this is the 800 irradiance, and 600, 400, 200. So if your PV panel is receiving 1000 irradiance, we have to operate at this point. My voltage should be at 666 for this particular PV application. For this particular PV array. I am talking about this particular PV array. If you are operating at 666 volts, then only you will get the 14.19 kilowatt. Or this is at 800 irradiance. So based on this, we have to select our V reference or VMPP point. If I will get this VMPP point, either 616 or 664 or 66, then I can operate my PV panel at this voltage. See, this voltage, the controller or whatever maybe can be operated PV voltage at this level by using simple DC-DC converters, or like boost or buck boost or whatever maybe, or single stage. Then inverter also can operate, can regulate the DC link voltage. That is different issue. See, I'm talking about if you know this voltage. If you don't know this voltage also, you can design P&O algorithm. I will explain in my further video. But in this video, in this particular video, I designed my PV panel, and the designing of PV panel I explained in my previous video. You can see my channel to get the details about how to design the PV module. You see, I used the internal resistance also, so some power maybe will be lost at this resistance, and many components are involved, so internal losses will be there. My panel, I selected 4.7 kilowatt of panel. See, this is for one particular PV module, and I connected 22 modules in series, so I can build my voltage beyond the 600 or something. See, I operating at 1000 irradiance, so maximum irradiance, and this is my P&O algorithm. So this P&O algorithm will give the V reference, at what level I should operate my voltage. At what level of voltage I should operate at my PV panel. This is the more important thing. See, this is the boost converter. I connected the boost converter. I'm not selecting the buck converter. I will explain why buck converter is not preferable for PV panel. See, I will explain in this video itself. But see, I connected the boost converter, and I am not regulating the output voltage of boost converter. I am regulating the input voltage of boost converter. See, I taken the voltage and I taken the P&O algorithm, and V reference is giving, and this is my DC link voltage. DC voltage input I am regulating this DC voltage, I mean input of the boost converter, because I should operate my PV panel according to my V reference. So this output voltage of PV panel only I have to operate. And another one is also there. If we are considering output voltage and output current, then also you can design the P&O algorithm. That is another issue. In my further video, I will explain. And this is based on voltage. Even though without using any PI controller, without regulating the voltage, also you can operate your MPPT. It is not in a particular procedure or particular logic. This is my logic, and same logic can be implemented for other purposes also, I mean other applications also. See, I have to provide the particular duty ratio of this switch in order to get the maximum power, I mean to vary the voltage. See, if my power is more, I can increase my duty cycle. So while voltage will increase, once voltage is increasing, current will increase. If I will consider the output, if voltage is increasing, current is increasing, so power will increase. So if my present power is less than the previous power or more than the previous power, based on this I will generate the duty cycle or pulses for this switch without using any PI. That is another P&O algorithm. That is also P&O algorithm, but another logic that will I will explain in my other next video. I mean some other videos, further videos. And if you are connected the inverter, then logic will be different. If you are connected single stage, logic will be different. If you are connected buck converter, then P&O logic will not be that affected, but the controller logic will be affected. If we are operating the output voltage, then the controller logic will be the different, but P&O will be the same. But without this type of P&O, whatever I designed in this model, without using this P&O also you can generate the pulses. So it is basically logic. It depends on the logic how we are approaching. The simple thing, see, uh, if my power is increasing, like if I will operate at 200, then I will operate at 300, so power will increase. So I will check whether power is increasing, then I can move forward to increase my voltage. So once it is reaching this point, then the power will reduce. The power will start to reduce. Even though voltage is increasing, current will reduce, because of the PV characteristics, voltage and currents are dependent in each other. So power will reduce. So once power is reducing, then again it will come back. So I require the step change of voltage. How much voltage I have to change? Like see, 200 to 300 I told, like in this case 100 volts. But 100 volts is very problematic, because let us assume 660 volts. 660 volts is my operating. So once I reach at 660 volts, next is 766 volts. 760 volts it will move directly. It will move from 662 to 760. Once it is reached to 766, then power is very less, and once it is reaching again, it will come back to 666. But this doesn't know, this algorithm doesn't know. This will think that even if I reduce the voltage, then maybe I can get the maximum power. So again it will reduce to 566. So it will oscillate from 566 to 766. So whatever the delta V are taken, it will operate at 2 delta V, 2 times delta V. So the DC link voltage is operating from 566 to 766. It is very dangerous, because 200 volts gap is there, and it is almost 33% of DC link variation, voltage variation. So the delta V should be very small. Then again the problem will come. If delta is very small, it will take more time to reach this state, I mean this value. So to avoid this conflict, initially I will consider maybe 600 volts is my initial value, or it should be equal to 200 volt, 200 irradiance. It is my initial value, and from this to reaching the 660 or 656 or whatever my VMPP, it will take very less time. So I designed based on this logic of my P&O algorithm. I see. This is the simple LC filter, and to provide the constant voltage or to maintain the constant voltage. And this is the inductor for boost converter, and this is switch, and this is simple capacitor output to maintain the constant voltage as the output. Meanwhile, I will run the system. Let's see. I will run the system in meanwhile. So this is my PN algorithm. See, I taken current and I taken voltage. These are the input of boost. I mean output of the PV, not output of the boost. Generally, people will think the boost converter can regulate only output voltage, but it is not correct one. Boost converter can regulate the input voltage. Inverter also, many people are thinking that inverter will regulate the output voltage. I mean AC voltage only, or it will convert DC to AC. But inverter or converter, I mean I'm talking about the converter. It is by it is simple thing that it is depends on the pulses. In my previous videos also I explained. It can regulate input DC link voltage also. That is the simple logic to design the single stage PV systems, grid connected PV systems. If it is grid connected, then my logic will be different. If it is a standalone system, my logic will be different. If it is connected to battery, my logic will be different. If it is connected to DC motor, my P&O logic will be the different. So don't think that same P&O logic or P&O algorithm will work for all the applications. The logic is the same. I mean the procedure. I mean the procedure is the same. It have to add the delta V, and at maximum level dp by dv equal to 0. That is the only the uh, procedure we have to follow. Dp by dv equal to 0, then at that point we can say that the maximum power dp by dv. Keep it in mind that dp by dv, change in power by change in voltage, change in power versus to change in voltage. If it is 0, then uh, I can say that I got the maximum power. Based on that logic only I design. Anyone can design based on the same logic, I mean same procedure with their own logic, their own approach. I mean approach. See, this is the PN algorithm. I taken current and I taken voltage. I taken zero order hold and here also zero order hold to hold the one value. I mean, it is a closed loop. This is a closed loop. So the input values, I mean the present values will be depends on previous value. I mean previous pulse is not there, then how we can generate the present values. So this is the simple logic. I mean this is the closed loop. So I taken the zero order hold. And after that I calculated the power. See, voltage into current. This is the power and this is the voltage. Then I calculated change in power dp. See, this is the power, present power, and memory. This is my previous power. Memory means it will store the previous value. See, previous input value. So I taken the dp. I mean change in power. And this is the change in voltage. Similarly, I got the change in voltage. But only one logic is, now tell me, if dp by dv we are getting, if dv is 0, then it will have a conflict. The the mathematical solution is not there if dv equal to 0. I mean small changes, if it is very small then it is very high, dp by dv equal to is very high. I don't want the value of dp by dv. If dv is very small, then dp by dv is very high. But I don't want the value of dp by dv. I required only the direction, whether dp by dv is positive or negative. I required only whether it is positive or negative, because whether it is increasing or decreasing I mean I have to get the value, I mean the direction of the dp by dv, not the value or not the uh, I mean this magnitude or whatever. I required only the direction or the sign of dp by dv. So to avoid this conflict, I mean if dp is very small, I can take dp into dv, because for both the equations the sign is the same. If you are multiplying minus into minus, or positive into positive, or whatever, or positive by positive or negative by negative, that the sign for both the functions are same. So I consider dp into dv, but before that I got the sign whether it is positive or negative, because I want only whether it is positive or negative. I don't want the value of the dp, or I don't want to value of the dv. I require only the sign. So I taken the sign function So it will give whether it is positive or negative. If it is positive, positive 1 will come. If it is negative, minus 1 will come, negative 1 will come. So I multiplied. Here we can divide it because the values are not coming here. So you may divide it, but you may get the product also because I required only sign. Again, I make it the sign. So based on this sign, if it is positive, my delta V, this is the delta V, this is the step time, 0.005 volts I taken. This is the step time. If my value is very small or whatever may be, here only I will get only the sign, whether it is positive or negative. So with step time, I can have, I can multiply these two, so I can decide whether I have to increase my voltage or decrease my voltage. Simple thing. But I taken very small, but the sample time is 20 to the power minus 6. So while it is multiplying for 1 second, it will come very high value. I mean like 5 volts or 50 volts or like this much it can take for 1 second because sample time is very small. So every sample time, every 20 e to the power minus 6, I mean every 20 e to the power minus 6, it can increase or decrease by 0.005. So once it is 1 second, then let us assume 20 mega, I mean 20 mega times, I mean 1 by 20 mega times, it can increase or it can decrease for 1 second. So once I decided whether the delta V or change in voltage I have to increase or decrease, I can add it to my previous value. So memory I taken and this is my previous value. So once it is added, actually this is my V reference, VREF. But actually I told you that I will add some value because I don't want to get start from zero, because there is no use from start to zero. It will take more time to reach this value. So I added like 600 or 650 or whatever the starting point you can add it, and this is my V reference. This is the simple P and O algorithm. This is the simple P and O algorithm, and the logic is I designed like this. Uh, but the procedure is dp by dv equal to 0 or dp into dv equal to 0. But I require only sign signature, I mean sign of sorry, not signature, sign of the dp by dv or dp into dv. That thing only I require because I have to decide whether my voltage should be plus del v or minus del v. The direction I have to select it. But without this procedure also we can design. From this you can stop it. From this you can stop it whether if it is delta V positive, then increase your duty cycle. If it is negative, reduce your duty cycle. Or if it is positive, then give the pulse to your switch. If it is negative, stop to pulse to your switch in case of grid connected PV system. In grid connected PV system, the output voltage, I mean if inverter is there here, let us assume if inverter is there, you no need to bother about voltage of here. If more voltage, more power will come. More voltage means I have to increase my duty cycle. So based on that logic we have to design. You no need to go for PI and all these controllers. From here itself, from this point itself, you can stop this all the further things. You can stop from here and you can decide if it is positive. Even though you don't need to take this step. If it is positive, then switch on the give the pulses for switch on the I mean on the switch. If it is negative, then switch off, because if it is positive, then I have to increase the voltage. So if you are switch on this IGBT, then automatically output voltage will increase because of the duty cycle, because I connected the boost converter. Then now I will tell you why we have to select the boost converter. See, if it is inverter or whatever may be, you cannot increase your voltage if you are selected a buck converter. If your VMPP is, let us assume 660 volts, let us assume 660. If your VMPP is 660, then you can't go beyond 660 of output of your buck converter if you are connected to the buck converter. Then your output voltage is not beyond 666. Then if it is connected inverter can't pump the more current to the grid if more power is available. Because if more power is going into the grid, then only voltage will reduce. This voltage will reduce. So buck converters won't be preferable, but boost converters are preferable because if my voltage is 660 G6, I can get either 700 or 800 or 900 or 1000 to pump the more current to the grid. I have to pump more current to the grid if more power is available. Then only I can achieve the maximum power. Even though if we are connected MPPT, if your load is not capable to take that much power, then your MPPT won't work. That for that thing, see, my input voltage is 660. Let us assume 660. My output voltage should be beyond 660 because boost converter I connected. So generally the minimum output voltage is 660, but let us assume you take 10% more, like 700 volts. So my output is 700 volts. So what resistance should I have to put here? See, from this 4700 watts is my PV capacity. If I will connect the 10 ohms only, if I will connect only output is 10 ohms, then see square root of power by power into resistance, because V square, I mean, see, V square by R is my power. See, V square by R is my power. So generally think that I have to collect my voltage. I have to calculate my voltage. So V square equal to power into resistance. So square root of power into resistance is my voltage. My voltage across the load. So my, keep it in mind, voltage across the load, not across the PV. Voltage across the load. If my voltage is across the load, I have to calculate how much voltage is required if I will connect the 10 ohms. See, if I will connect the 10 ohms, this voltage is 216. So now tell me how we can get 216 volts. 216 volts if my input voltage is 600 plus volts. 600 plus voltage is my input, but I record only 216 volts to get the 4700 watts. So this 10 ohms is not sufficient. 10 ohms will consume more power because I can't get it 200 volts or 250 volts by applying 600 plus voltage as a input to the boost converter. Boost converter will always boost the voltage. So it should be the more than 660 volts. Let us assume 700 volts. If it is 700 volts, then if it is 700 volts, my output is 700 volts, then calculate 700, I mean, sorry, if my output voltage of boost converter is 700 volts, then how much power PV have to produce then if 10 ohms? See, 49 kilowatt, but my PV capacity is 4.7 kilowatt only. So 10 ohm is not sufficient, and 50 ohm then 480, it is also not sufficient. But minimum 100 or minimum like see 90 ohms or 100 ohms or 150 ohms. These ohms only we have to select it, otherwise it won't work. It won't work. You can't connect the resistive load instead of resistive branch, because two types of loads are there. One is RLC branch, another one is series RLC load. You can't connect the load because load is based on the rating of voltage. It will ask the voltage rating. But how we can select the voltage rating, because your output voltage is variable, depends on your input voltage and your duty cycle. So the resistive load you cannot take it. I mean, whatever the availability components in the Simulink, two types of things are there. One is resistive load and another one is series RLC branch. Series RLC branch you can take it, but you can't take the resistive load directly by entering the 4700 whatever by that is the corresponding to the voltage. If voltage is changing, then the power will also be changed. So I selected 180 ohms instead of 10 or 150 or whatever, maybe I connected 180 ohms. If it is less than 90 ohms, then it will consume more power because my output voltage is more than 700 volts or 680 volts. So it won't work properly if it is less than 90 ohms or whatever. I already explained you. So if it is connected DC motor, then DC motor is RLE load. So RLE total voltage should be more than 700 volts. You have to select in such a fashion. If you are operating with these controllers, if without this controller I told you that the duty cycle will change accordingly, then you can connect for any load. If based on also the availability of input voltage, it is also depends on availability of input voltage. That's why I'm saying the procedure to design PNV algorithm is also depends on many factors, not only dp by dv equal to 0. That is the only the thing we have to achieve at dp by dv equal to 0. The maximum power can be achieved at dp by dv equal to 0, but that is the mathematical equation and that is the simple logic. But the procedure to design the PNV algorithm is depends on many factors. So I will explain many different types of PNV algorithms in my further videos. Even though the same PNV algorithms we can work for wind generation also, PMSG based wind generation, but in that case I can't take the voltage. Instead of voltage I can take the current, I reference, because the speed of the wind turbine is depends on the current, the load current. If load current is more, then speed will reduce. If load current is less, then speed will increase. So inversely proportional is there. In that case I have to take the inversely the controller should be in reverse reverse design. The reverse design. But see, here this is the V reference, this is the V voltage. But general thing is V reference should be the positive and V should be negative. But here I taken in as reverse direction. V reference is negative and V is positive, because let us see, if voltage is more, let us assume my V reference is 500 volts, my voltage is 550 volts. See, voltage is more, so more power I can transfer. So I have to switch on. If it is switch on, more current will flow, then voltage will reduce. So inversely, let see the carefully, let's see. If my voltage is more, because my V reference is, let us assume my V reference is 500, but I am getting 550, so I have to reduce my voltage from 550 to 500. Voltage can be reduced if more current is flowing. More current will be flow if switch is on, if it is directly short circuit. So if it is positive, if 550 is positive, 500 is negative, then positive 50 will come. Positive, with positive PI gains, I can get the pulses. If it is negative, let us assume it is negative and it is positive, then 550 is negative, 500 is positive, then negative will come. Negative PI will come to the 0, because I given as a minimum lower value 0. So pulse will come to 0. So once pulse is coming to the 0, switch will not be on. If switch is not the on, the power will directly go to the load. So load whatever it can take, it will take. It won't have work as a boost converter. It is directly, without the switch, it is directly connected. It is doing like that. So my VDC or VPV should be the positive and V reference should be the negative. But generally many controllers will show you that V reference or speed reference in case of induction motors, or speed reference in case of D-STATCOM, or whatever the reactive component reference, whatever the references are there, those things they will take as in positive sign. But here the reference will be taken as a negative sign. If I will consider my output voltage, then I can consider this is the positive and this is the negative. If it is output voltage, if my VDC, my PV, if I will consider from output voltage, based on output voltage also you can design the PNV algorithm. The same PNV algorithm can work for the wind turbine also, but we have to do small corrections. Instead of voltage, we have to take the current, and because there is a relation between speed and current. Here the relation between power and voltage. Like that, in incremental conductance we can take the currents. It is another issue, but with the PNV algorithm the approach will be different from network to network, circuit to circuit. I will explain the simple PNV in my further videos. I will explain some other PNV, some other logic with the same PNV algorithm. But see, nearly 8 to 10 algorithms I will explain. I mean the same P&O algorithm for 8 to 10 applications I will explain how to design the proper P&O algorithm. So the selection of resistance is very important while designing the controller. You can't take the random value of this one. But in this inductor, capacitor, and this capacitor, all things I taken as a random values because I want to show you only the designing of P&O algorithm, not to designing of these all values. Randomly I taken these values, but in a resistance is we have to calculate the minimum resistance how much it is required. So we can increase the resistance. I can make it 1000 ohms also because V square by R, if R is increasing, then we have to be increased to increase the power. So we can be increased by changing the duty cycle. So it is not an issue to increase the output voltage by the boost converter, but the limitation is there. That is another thing. In my previous videos I explained the boost converter designing and everything. There you can see. But here the boost converter is regulating the input voltage of the boost, that is the output voltage of the PV, not output voltage of the boost. So see here, this is my output voltage. I will show you my output voltage. See how much I am getting. My output voltage is, see, 894 volts I am getting, because at 894 only I can get the maximum power. If I will reduce this one, voltage will reduce. If I will increase this resistance, voltage will increase. This is the output voltage of the boost, and this is the input voltage of the boost converter. It should be VMPP. See how much it is there. See, like 650 or 646 or 650. So this is my V reference. This should be the equal to my V reference. See, it is taking some time to to find out the V reference. It is taking some time. You can reduce this time by adjusting the proper step voltage and proper inductor and capacitor and all values, proper PI gains also. We can adjust this time period. I am taken the random values because I want to show only in steady state responses. See, this is the my 6643. This is my VMPP. See, here it is there. See, you can see directly 0.005 I taken. See, these steps are 0.005. See, from here to here 0.005, here to here 0.005. So this to this 0.005. So it may sometime increase, it may sometime decrease, and it will stable for a particular value. If we are taken 10 volts as a step time, then step voltage, then what will happen? Let us assume if we are considering the 10 volts as a step voltage, then the problem is it will take 10 volt step and 10 volts minus 10 volts minus 10 volts minus 10 volts minus, like maybe 100 volts it will reduce, maybe 100 volts increase, maybe 100 volts reduce. So more voltage will reduce and increase. So more charterings are there. Whenever the more charterings are there in V reference, more chartering will be there in VDC link. Because the actual voltage will be more chartering than V reference. If more charterings are present at V reference, then how I mean many more charterings will be there in our actual DC link voltage. And this is my power. This is the PPV power. Simple voltage into current. See, it is taking some time to find out the maximum power, and it is coming now. My power is 470 by considering all the losses. Actually 4732, but losses is also there. See, 4700. How we know that 4700 whatever maybe? See here. See here. These are the ratings given by the PV panel, PV manufacturer. This one, this one, this one, and this one. I only consider this one. See, this is my current at P maximum 7.10, and voltage is 30.3. So each PV module is 215 watts, and 22 modules I connected in series. 4732. 4732 is my power, but power losses due to the resistance and due to the switches and all these things, I can get the 4700, 4705 power is the maximum. and you can reduce the chartering of this one also. This is the arc charterings are there. 6752 to 7005 means 30 watt chartering is there. But this is not that much high, but you can reduce, even though you can reduce the chartering by selecting the proper gains of the PI and the proper values of L and C. And this is my output of PI is equal to my duty cycle of my boost converter. See, if my voltage is reaching my desired value, then my output of PI is the constant. I explained how PI controllers are working in my previous video. You can see. So 0.24 duty cycle is sufficient to get the maximum power across the load. So based on this voltage, it is consuming the maximum power. If you are increasing the resistance, then it will increase the duty cycle. To increase the voltage, then V square by R will be again 4700 watts. So this is the PWM block. See, once I generated the duty cycle, I will compare with triangular. So this is the triangular, actually not swapshot. This is the triangular I taken. By comparing these two, I can generate the pulses. So this is the simple logic of the P&O algorithm for MPPT of PV system. But you should not think that the same P&O algorithm will work for all the applications. It is depends on the logic, and it depends on the applications, and depends on many factors like resistance I can consider and all these things. If you are connected the battery, then based on the battery, bidirectional converters and many things are required, because the battery can if you are connected in parallel, the battery voltage will be the constant, so you cannot increase the voltage of your boost converter. So you have to select some other type of approach to design the maximum power. But all these things are depends on only dp by dv equal to 0, I mean equals to 0 at maximum power. So thank you very much. See, in this video, in the description, I provided the WhatsApp number also. By WhatsApp number and WhatsApp link, you can join in our WhatsApp group to get this model. In WhatsApp group, I presented this model, completely this model with free of cost. So thank you very much. Please subscribe our channel, and please share our videos as much as possible.